We've been in a deep freeze here for a couple of weeks, I would say, roughly. Now we're in a flood area, and we can't do very much here. We've had some big problems the last month or so. The back door was busted. They're cheap doors. They got a metal frame around them with like a 2x2 going all. It's actually an 1.5 by 1.5 that goes on the inside of the frame, and then a little piece of 2x4 for the lock set. Very, very cheaply made, and then styrofoam in the middle of it. We were calling around for mobile home doors. We just cannot get the door itself. 32 by 74 high. You have to buy the whole casing and everything. They're over $1,000. I had a friend of mine looking. I've been looking online, and nobody ships anyways. So I had a good friend of mine who said he was going to fix it, and we decided to repair the door that we have now, and he spent over 3 hours on it, and it was well worth it. If we had to buy the door and have him do it, the door would be about $1,100 with the frame, and that's the only way you could get it. And he worked over 3 hours on it, rebuilding it, and used very strong adhesive, better than liquid nails. We put wood reinforcement on the inside. I helped him, but he did 90% of the work. And now it's good and strong. We got a flooded area here, but this was all ice, and I used a lot of sand the last couple weeks. About 60-pound bags between the backyard here and the driveway. It was a skating rink, and things were pretty bad. So that's what I've been doing. I've been down on the dumps here because my wife's health has not improved. It hasn't gotten any worse. Mobility is almost zero. So in order to change the door, I would have to redo or remove the overhang, which is fastened to the aluminum for the storm door. And from what the places that sell the mobile home doors said, you have to remove the whole thing from the outside. I thought you could remove the casing from the inside and leave the storm door where it is. And that's what we wanted to do. But we actually just needed the door because the casing is in perfect square. There's nothing wrong with the casing nor the threshold. So see, when I built this, and I don't know if I have a video on it or not, I built this to keep the rain and everything out of off the door, and keep the water from going down to the threshold and causing problems. And it makes it easier. So when I built this, it's fastened up here, and when they did the roof, they put shingles on here. And in order to remove the storm door and everything, we would lose the support for this, which I built. And at my age and physical condition, I could not build this again like I did then. So you can see where I got an aluminum bar going right here, and it goes up underneath here. So it's screwed on the back of this, and then this is put up there, and this is slid up underneath here and screwed in. And all this here screened, the storm door is like all one part of the casing, and I think it's probably screwed into, it could be screwed into the casing, that I don't know. But anyways, he fixed the door, if you look at the door, it's got a black plastic trim all around it, and then it's got this white plastic over it that they use in bathrooms a lot of times on the walls, and it's that way on the inside too. So it's sandwiched in, and in the middle it's just styrofoam. It's 1.25 inches styrofoam. So what he did is he took the whole door off, and the last 6 inches of the bottom was rotted out. So he took off all the plastic of the door, laid it out here on the deck on a couple of 2x4s, and I helped him. He was working over 3 hours on it. And you get all the trim off, then you pull back the white plastic and squared it up with the 2x6 on the bottom. The piece that was in there is laying right there. It's a 2x2, 31.5 inches long. The door is 32. So it's 31.5 or thereabouts, and it fits on the inside. And that was all rotted, half rotted out. So we took that off and we put in a 2x6, and it was actually 1 inch and a quarter. So he bought his planer over, electric planer, which I have also buried in the shed somewhere. And he planed it down so it would fit and it wouldn't stick out too much. So we replaced that and replaced it. Now he took out the trim, all the trim on all 4 sides. Had to take the hinges off and everything else. You can see the water we got. I had to go out in the shed. It's mud and sliding in the mud and everything else. He couldn't work out here because this was all ice. So he had to do everything here, and we laid 2x4s here and laid the door out here. And what he did was we pulled back all the white plastic, and it really wasn't glued very good, and we used 2 tubes of very heavy industrial adhesive. I don't know what it is now. We took the tubes, I think, and threw them out, but it's better than liquid nails. But anyways, he glued everything up, and he screwed the 2x6 into the metal framing. The metal framing goes around the top and the sides, but there's no metal framing on the bottom. So that's what they used, that piece of wood there. So he put in a 2x6 instead of a 2x2, and had to plane down the 2x6 so it becomes 1.25 inches instead of 1.5 inches. So there's a lot of work there, and then re-screwed all of it and glued it, all the plastic trim back in, and fit the white black trim that goes in there. So I had to fit all that in. So we got the door working very good, and it's stronger now than it was when it was new. The problem is your hallway is so narrow in the hallway going to the bathroom. This door opens on the inside, and the problem is when my wife falls, then the paramedics are leaning up against the door with their 200 plus pounds each guy, pressing and trying to get her up off the floor, and it sprung the door. If this had been a wooden door, solid wooden door, that wouldn't have happened. But that's just the way the mobile homes are, and in order for me to take and have it open to the outside, this whole thing, including this, would have to be changed. And you'd have it so that the door opens to the outside. The problem with that is, the door opens to the outside, you don't have a storm door. You only have a storm door when the door opens inward, and the storm door opens outward like this does. So anyways, we got that all fixed. But I'll tell you, we were worried with the storms and everything, losing power because this was all glare ice. It was a mess. So I'm chattering a lot, but that's okay. You haven't been getting a video from me lately. It's a challenge for my wife to get off the reclining couch. It's very, very, very difficult, and legs get shaky, and she falls quite a bit. She hasn't fallen yet, so we needed to get that door fixed. So now everything's good now, but she's on so many medications, so many, for fibromyalgia, Crest syndrome. I can go on and on and on. You name it, she's got it. So I don't want to get depressed about this, but normally I don't like to talk about our problems. You know, everybody's got problems, but I just want you to know, and I had given this a lot of thought about this, and I said, do I need to spell out our personal problems? Well, I've gotten a lot of emails, quite a few, not a lot, but I got a few. The people that know my email address, you know, and I emailed them back and explained briefly about the door problem we got, her falling and her health issues and stuff. And, you know, I'm not in the mood to do videos, and this is why I haven't. But 99% of you do not have my email and no way of getting a hold of me, but I do appreciate there's people that do email me that have my email address and ask me how we're doing. I've seen a video from you in a while. So I figured I'd make this and just let you know that here I am, still alive and kicking. And right at the moment, my wife is doing okay, not better, not worse, other than the fluid buildup. And she was doing exercises in the rehab, and she was doing it good. But she says her legs used to get shaky, and she couldn't stand very long even then, and she had to sit down. Her legs just give out under her, and that's the end of it. And then she's down, and there's nothing I can do to get her up. You know, call 911, and then they come here. So thank God we got that door fixed, because that's the only way they're going to get her in and out here. That porch, when I built that, I didn't build that for handicap. It's the last thing on my mind of building something handicap. The reason I got that handicap ramp is my mother-in-law had a walker, and she'd use that. So we built that, I think, in 2003 with my cousin Sam, who passed on at a young age from smoking. At age 66, a damn shame, of cancer, all over in the spine and the brain and everything. And he built that. Him and I built it, but he did the angles and stuff on it. And right now, my wife can go down. The wheelchair won't fit in there through the door. It's 32 inches wide. And it's an extra large wheelchair, so it won't go in. So we got this storage bin we got at Home Depot, had them assemble it because the weather's been too cold and snowy and everything. And I built the pressure-treated platform for it. The wheelchair's in here. And so we take the wheelchair, well, needless to say, you can't now, wheel it up there. When she comes down the ramp, then we can take it to the doctor's. But as luck would have it, the wheelchair would not, the wheels were spaced too far apart to go on a senior van handicap wheelchair lift. So that's where we're at right now. So she can't get out to get to the doctor. But anyways, okay, I'm going to end this video. As you can probably tell, the lights are growing dim. We're losing daylight. I don't know the exact time here. I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching. There won't be very many videos from me, but in the warmer weather, if everything stays about the same with my wife and don't get worse, I'll probably be doing something. Needless to say, I can't do projects now, and I did not record him working on the video. I mean, him working on the door, because I was helping him out, and I figured that I didn't want to video it. Normally I do, but I don't know if he'd want to be on camera or not. So, he does this for a living. He's a finished carpenter, so he does real good work. He renovates bathrooms and stuff like that, and does doors and windows and floors and you name it. The only thing he don't do anymore is roofing. He used to do it, but he gave that up. Okay, so take care, everybody. I just figured I'd throw this video out to you, let you know that the old 64 goat at 81 years old is still on the snow side of the ground. I have not become a frozen piece of meat underground yet. I'm still above ground. How much longer, I don't know. Take care, everybody. Whatever it is you do, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today, because you may like it today and you may want to do the whole damn thing over again tomorrow. Good day.